Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope your day and your week are going well so far. We've got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. A special player prop video today. Today officially starts the NBA play-in tournament for the 2024 season. That's right, guys. The regular season is officially over. It's in the rearview mirror. It's a fun year, but now it's in the past. We're now entering the postseason for the NBA. Play-in tournament starts tonight. 2 games. We got Lakers, Pelicans, and Warriors, Kings. A pretty good slate, and I got some good props to hand out for those games. But first, as always, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment down below, all that good stuff. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers here in the channel. We are more than 68% of the way there, and every time you guys hit that subscribe button down below, we get there just a little bit sooner. So we appreciate you guys. Again, always drop a comment and all that good stuff. Again, only 2 games on for tonight's slate, but I got a good amount of picks I think you guys are going to like. Now, I haven't done a video since Saturday's picks video, so a quick little recap of how we've been doing lately. This guy been coming out a lot more lately. And a little quick one, money gun. I didn't do the whole thing with the glasses today because obviously the last hit we had was Saturday, and it's already Tuesday, so it feels like kind of anticlimactic to go ahead and do that now. Maybe that's not even the right word to use there. But we did cash another parlay on Saturday. We've now cashed 3 of our last 4 parlays here on the channel, and since Friday, April 5th, just a week and a half ago, we are up over 14 units on our parlays here in the NBA picks videos. For the new sports bettors who don't know what units are, a unit is basically just what you bet on a game. So example, if I put $50 on a game, that's my unit is $50, right? So, people's units are different depending on what you do. Some people have, if you're betting smaller, maybe you have a $10 unit, or to put it simply, $10 per bet. Some people bet higher. Some people bet as much as $1,000 a unit, which is $1,000 a bet. If you bet $10 for every one of my parlays since April 5th, you're up over $140. If you bet $100, you're up over $1,400. If you bet $1,000, you're up over $14,000, and so on and so forth. But overall, the point being, we have been very profitable on our parlays lately. So I have a 4-leg parlay for tonight's slate, plus I have some straight props to hand out. So without wasting any more time, guys, let's dive into today's play-in tournament props. Switch over to the Outlier screen now, guys. You know what Outlier is. They are the best sports betting tool on the market. There's a special link in the description below. You get a 7-day free trial when you try that out for yourself, especially with the MLB season, with the NBA playoffs coming up. You're really going to want to have that in your back pocket. It's so much great insight. If you watch my videos, there's so much information. They're so helpful. They really do make you a better sports bettor. One more time, guys, link in the description below, 7-day free trial to check it out for yourself. All right, so starting off with our straight props, these props are meant to be bet straight up, meaning that, you can throw them in a parlay if you want, or add them to the parlay that I give at the end of the video, absolutely. But these are meant to be bet straight up, meaning that you're just going to bet these without anything else included. Our first prop in our straight prop segment here, we're going Lakers, Pelicans, 7:30 p.m. tip-off. We're going Brandon Ingram of the Pelicans over 23.5 points plus assists. This prop's available most places. We are getting this on DraftKings for minus 112 odds. Now, at first glance, the data is not fantastic. You see here 3 of his last 10 games, he has cashed this over. Ingram has been playing a little banged up. You see here a lot of, he played most through March, then he hadn't played from March 21st until April 14th, so a pretty long break there for Ingram. But he's been playing a little dinged up, and the numbers were a little low before finally leaving for the injury. But if you stretch that data back to February, you see here he had a really strong month of February going into the month of March, and then March just kind of was a fall off for him. But overall, on the season, it's really strong data. 66% hit rate for Brandon Ingram on the year. 42 out of 64 game series cashed this over, averaging 26.48 points plus assists per game. And you see a lot of green there, and then of late, just a kind of tail off there as we got into the month of March. I'm not too concerned here, and we look at the head-to-head matchup. Here's the reason why. In 5 of the last 7 games versus the Lakers, he has cashed this over. Now, they just played 2 days ago in that overtime loss to the Lakers. Here's the thing, though. He only played, I think it was 23 minutes. Let's double-check that. Minutes played. Yeah, he played just 23 minutes, so he didn't play a ton versus the Lakers. It was also, again, his first game back in a month. You see there, he played March 21st versus Orlando, and then didn't play again until April 14th. So, his first game back from injury, he played 23 minutes. He still had 13 points, had 0 assists. So I'm not too worried about the fact that he missed the last game. Now we are a couple of days later. He's got some more rest. I think he will be back to mostly normal here. Remember, it's the play-in tournament. This isn't just a regular season game, and this is a playoff format. And look, when it comes to the playoffs, stars show out. These kind of players step up. I'm expecting Brandon Ingram here to step up in this matchup. You see here, the data overall is pretty strong versus the Lakers. Dating back to February last year. He's averaging 26.43 points plus assists per game versus the Lakers. He played the Lakers 4 times this year. He cashed it in 2 out of 4. You see the first time they played in December, he missed the mark. The last time, again, the other day, we talked about it, they missed. But the previous 2 times he had hit, including that February 9th game, he had 22 points and 7 assists, 26 points and 8 assists there. So overall, the data was pretty strong for Ingram versus the Lakers. Look at the overall defensive matchup here. The Lakers are bottom 10 in both points allowed and assists allowed on the season versus small forwards. They're about middle of the road, nothing too crazy there. Again, I love the head-to-head matchup in a play-in tournament style, in a play-in tournament game. Obviously big implications for the playoffs here. I expect Brandon Ingram to step up here in this matchup versus Lakers. So that's my first prop in my straight prop segment. All right, guys, sticking with this same game, the second prop from this game here, we're going Lakers-Pelicans again. We're going LeBron James over 26.5 points. Now, look, you're not going to find a bigger LeBron hater than me. I call him LaFraud constantly, but we have to acknowledge some things here with LeBron. And as a LeBron hater, I even have to admit he is one of the all-time greats. And when it comes to playoff basketball, LeBron, except for 2011, he does tend to step it up a notch in these games. Over 26.5 points, we're getting it for minus 108 on DraftKings, available practically every single sports book. Now, look, the data, again, at first glance, not fantastic. 4 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the over. This line is elevated slightly, so this line usually I don't think it'd be this high. It is elevated because of the situation. You look at the last 20 games here, still not great. He's averaging 27 points per game, though. He's had some pretty big games there throughout. And looking at the head-to-head matchup, though, 4 of the last 7 times he's faced off with the Pelicans, including the last time they just played 2 days ago, he had 28 points versus New Orleans. He's cashed this 3 of the 4 times he's played the Pelicans this year. He's cashed this over. And look, overall, the Pelicans are a top 10 defensive team versus small forward. You see they are top 5. I mean, there's so much data that tells you like why we shouldn't bet this. But again, when it comes to a game like this, you have Anthony Davis is dinged up with that back injury. Davis, I'm not too concerned about. He's going to play. But I do think in a moment like this, the Lakers are going to look to LeBron to help carry them. And look, like I said, I'm not a LeBron guy. I wish I wore my LeBron suck shirt on this video to show it to you guys. I'm not a LeBron guy, but I have to admit, even as a LeBron hater, the guy steps up in the playoffs. In games like these, in big spots when the Lakers need him, he's not always like the Avatar, right? He doesn't vanish. He actually shows up and plays. So I'm going to bet it. When it comes to a situation like this, I'm going to take LeBron again. The data is pretty good. He's averaging 25.86 points per game versus the Pelicans his last 7 games. Again, 3 of the 4 times he's played them this year, he's cashed the over. The one time they missed back in February, it was a blowout win for the Lakers. They beat them by 17 in OT. He had 21 points. But I like the spot here for LeBron. All right, guys, our third straight prop for our straight prop segment. We're moving over now to the Warriors-Kings game, 10 p.m. tip-off. We're going Steph Curry over 29.5 points here for Golden State. Again, you're going to see this trend throughout all of these. The data of late is not great. And remember, these are all elevated lines. It's something that you guys need to understand. As you see, the recent data is going to be in the red because these lines are all elevated. In the playoffs, especially if you're betting superstars, the lines are going to be elevated because they're going to play more minutes. That's a given. In these do-or-die situations here, Curry's going to play, we're not going to see these guys play 20 minutes or 23 minutes or 25. They're going to play 35 minutes plus. These playoff rotations, they shrink. You go from playing 12 guys a night to playing 8 or 9 guys a night. The Warriors do like to run a little bit of a deeper rotation, because I think partly because due to their age with some of their players. But these guys are going to play a ton of minutes. So all the lines are going to be elevated across the board, which is why the data is a little tricky with a lot of these. So you have to really look at the head-to-head data. If you guys are doing research on your own, be mindful. It's going to be a lot of red, but it's because all the lines, especially for the superstar players, are all going to be elevated here because of the situation, because of matchup, because of the fact they're going to play more minutes. There's more to play for. This isn't just a Wednesday night game in February. This is it. This is their season on the line here. So I think that, the lines are going to be elevated for a lot of these players, including Curry, which is why this line at first glance, he's averaging 24 points per game just about over his last 10 games. On the season, he's averaging 26.43 points per game. Only 28 out of 74 games this year, he's scored 30 or more points. But looking at the head-to-head data, 9 of the last 15 times he's faced off with Sacramento, he's cashed the over. He's averaging 32.8 points per game versus the Kings in the last 15 games. And the great thing about this matchup is we do have some data to show postseason, right? Because you see here in April, you see that series that they played in the first round last year the Warriors and the Kings starting on April 15th. And then going all the way through April 30th. Remember that amazing Game 7 where Curry dropped 50 points in overtime. And so looking at that 7-game playoff series versus Sacramento last year, again, starting from April 15th and going to April 30th, you see here in 5 of those 7 games, he cashed the over. The 2 times he missed, on April 28th, Game 6, he had 29 points, and in Game 2, he had 28. The other 5 out of 7 games, he cashed the over. So he was scoring a lot of points versus Sacramento in the playoffs last year. So that's a very similar style game, another playoff format game with Curry versus Sacramento. And you saw typically, even when he missed it, he was very close. Again, that's why the line is partly elevated. The Kings overall on the year, they are bottom half of the league in points allowed, which is pretty good for us. Versus point guards, they're about middle of the road, nothing too crazy there. And we're looking just this season. They played 4 times. Curry cashed the over in 2 out of 4 games. The last time they played in January, he had 33 points. The first time in October, he had 41. Then he had a couple of misses there in November. But overall, a solid spot here from -110 odds. We'll absolutely take that. All right, guys, just 2 more straight props left before we get to our 4-leg parlay. Here's our 4th prop overall, our second prop from this game, We're going Andrew Wiggins over 16.5 points plus assists. We're getting this from -120 on DraftKings, available mostly everywhere except for FanDuel here. And here the data is pretty good. 7 of his last 10 games, you see he's cashed the over, averaging 18.4 points plus assists per game. In the last 20 games, 55% hit rate, 11 of his last 20, averaging 16 points plus assists per game, so not bad. On the year so far, not great, 39% hit rate, 28 out of 71 games. You see here of late, a lot more green for Wiggins, but he had a really bad season for the first half. He's gotten a little bit better second half of the season, but overall it was a little bit of a rough year for Wiggins. But the reason why I like this prop, honestly, is the head-to-head data. You see here, in 11 of the last 14 games versus Sacramento, he has cashed this over, averaging 21.21 points plus assists per game. He's cashed it each of the last 2 times they played. You see on November 28th, he had 29 points and 3 assists. And the last time they played on January 25th, he had 17 points and 4 assists. And again, just like Curry, we do have playoff data here to show. So here's the start of that 7-game series. And you see here, he cashed it in 6 out of those 7 playoff games versus Sacramento. He cashed the over. The only time he didn't was in Game 6. The Warriors got kind of blown out in that one by 19 points. He had 13 points and 0 assists. So the playoff data versus Sacramento, really good. Overall, the data is pretty strong. Even the 2 times he missed this year, 14.0 assists, he just barely missed. So the head-to-head data alone, I have to go ahead and take Wiggins here. All right, guys, our 5th and final straight prop. Comment 12 if you made it this far into the video. As always, guys, if you watched through the whole videos, I really do appreciate it. You guys don't know how much you guys mean to me and how much I appreciate it. Especially, a lot of people that like to just click on the video and find the picks and move on. The fact that the people who watch through the video, all the time and effort I put into it, I'm very appreciative of you guys. So comment 12 down below if you made it this far into the video. All right. 5th and final prop of our straight prop segment. We're going Sabonis again of the Kings, under 21.5 rebounds plus assists. We're getting this from -105 on DraftKings. If you're betting on FanDuel, you can get this at plus money odds. Again, data not terrible. 6 of the last 10 games, he's cashed the over, averaging 21 rebounds plus assists. He teeters on that line very, very closely here. Now, his last 20 games, a 50% hit rate. You see, even when he misses, he just barely misses. This is definitely a risky prop. I'm not going to lie. There's a reason why it's only -105. In 2023 so far, a 49% hit rate. He's averaging 21.87 rebounds plus assists per game, 40 at 82 games here. But the head-to-head data is why I like the spot. Looking at the head-to-head data, 12 of the last 14 games versus Golden State, he has cashed the under. He's averaging 18.64 rebounds plus assists per game. The only 2 times he cashed it, November 13th of last season and October 27th of this season. The only 2 times he cashed that over. The rest of them, all unders. And again, like we talked about, we have the playoff data there. You see, in every single game of that 7-game playoff series, he cashed the under. Playoff format. He has 7 games of playoff data there to show what he does in the playoffs versus Golden State, and you see the numbers decrease. Even this season, he's played them 4 times in the regular season. He's cashed it in 3 straight games, and yes, he got very close. You see the last time they played, he had 13 assists and 8 rebounds, but still an under. Doesn't matter. So the head-to-head data is really, really strong in this one. I know it's a risky bet. His assist line just keeps going up and up. He's gonna probably cover this mostly in assists, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the trend here. Like I said, that data is way too good not to bet the under. All right, guys, so now we officially start our 4-leg parlay. Our straight prop segment is done. 4-leg parlay. Here we go. First leg of our 4-leg parlay. Now, DraftKings is particular with their same-game parlays. However, the good news is that in the description below, I will post the link to the parlay through the outlier link. All you have to do is click the outlier link that I'm going to post in the description, excuse me. Get a little tongue twisted there. And then you click that link, and then you just click add to bet slip, and DraftKings will do it all for you. So it'll make it easier because if you try to do it on your own here, it gets a little tricky with all the alternate lines and takes a little bit of time there. But here we go. First leg of our 4-leg parlay. Again, 3 out of 4 legs are going to come from the Warriors-Kings game. I like a lot of the alternate lines here in Warriors-Kings. First leg, we're going Steph Curry, over 27.5 points. These are all alternate lines, just to warn you guys. We're getting this on DraftKings from minus 165 odds. And again, like I said, the data recently, a little bit better. 4 out of his last 10 games, he has cashed the over. If you remember on our straight props, we took this line at 29.5. We're just shaving a couple points off here. I don't know what the hell happened to my screen there. But here we go. So the data, like I said, the last 10 games, not fantastic. Last 20 games, not great. 2023, a 46% hit rate. Again, it's all not great because the line's still elevated. Even at this alternate line, it's still very elevated. But the head-to-head data is even better. Remember, in the 29.5 point line, it was 9 out of 15 games. Now we shaved 2 points off, and now all of a sudden we bumped that head-to-head hit rate up to 80%. So 12 out of 15 games, he's averaging 32.8 points per game versus Sacramento. And you see even now a couple of those misses very close, but overall 80% hit rate in his last 15 games. And you look at that playoff series, he cashed it in all 7 games, this 27.5 point line. He scored 28 or more points in all 7 games. Again, I liked it at 29.5. I love it at 27.5. All right, guys, second leg of our 4-leg parlay. Again, sticking with Warriors-Kings, we're going Draymond Green, over 12.5 points plus assists. We're getting this from minus 190 odds on DraftKings. Again, like I said, for all these props, the last 10 data, not fantastic. We're going to ignore most of that. 2023, though, is still pretty solid. 62% hit rate, averaging 14.67 points plus assists per game. He's cashed in 34 out of 55 games this year. Again, why do I love it? It's the head-to-head data. You see here, in 10 of his last 13 games versus the Kings, he has cashed his over as a 77% hit rate. He's averaging 16 points plus assists per game versus the Kings over the last 13 games. And again, that playoff data, all 7 games of that 7-game playoff series, he cashed the over. Certain players in the playoffs, they just know how to ham it up, how to get it up there, they know how to elevate their game, and Draymond Green is one of those guys who I feel like the energy of that playoff format, of that playoff atmosphere, I just feel like Draymond gets like elevated, like it just feeds into who he is as a player. He feeds off that energy, and I think it makes him a better player. He just becomes an animal in these series, and I think he steps it up, and I think, versus my computer is fucking annoying me today. I don't know what's going on. I just keep getting the not responding sign on my website. Apologies for the technical difficulties today, guys. I do apologize for that. But versus power forwards, you see here the Kings, bottom 4 in both points and assists allowed to opposing power forwards. So really good defensive spot here. Again, the head-to-head data is fantastic. I love the spot here for Draymond. All right, guys, third leg of our 4-leg parlay. We're now going to the Kings side of things. We're going De'Aaron Fox over 24.5 points. This is an alternate line, a heavy alternate line at minus 310, but it's okay to throw these in there, especially when you're doing a parlay. Again, I'm not going to keep repeating myself here. The recent data is not going to be great on any of these because the lines are all elevated. So we're going right to the head-to-head data. And you see here, 9 of his last 13 games versus the Warriors, he has cashed this over, averaging 28.08 points per game versus Golden State. You see all 3 times he's played the Warriors this year, he has cashed this over. And dating back to the playoff series, now not as great. He did cash it in 4 out of those 7 games. And the couple of misses there you see were pretty close. So, to go any lower, I wouldn't do it. I think he's a pretty surefire bet here. Overall, again, a 69% hit rate versus Golden State dating back to October 2022. And look, the Warriors this year defensively, they are bottom 9 against opposing point guard, giving 25 points per game. So it's a solid defensive spot. And again, all 3 times he's played them this year, he has cashed the over. They've gone to overtime in every single game, or that's just an outlier thing. It's got to be an outlier thing. Yeah, outlier. I love you, but that's definitely. I don't think they've gone to overtime in every single one of these. When I was reading some of these things back, I'm like, they lost by 19 in overtime. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, that's a mistake on Outlier's part there, but still, overall, the data is pretty solid there for Fox. All right, fourth and final leg of today's parlay. And apologies, guys. I don't do this very often, but sometimes, just like the NBA guys, you're not shooting your best. I feel like I'm a little bit off today with the energy. I do apologize for that. I haven't recorded in a couple of days. Computer's kind of fucking with me. So if it feels like we're not on the same, steady flow that we normally are on, I apologize for that. Sometimes I just, especially someone like myself who prides himself in what I do, feel like I'm a little off the mark today. Not with the data. The data is all good. I just feel like I fumbling my words a little bit. Computer's not acting up. I apologize for that, guys. If you guys are watching this deep into the video. Fourth and final leg of today's parlay. We got LeBron James over 39.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. And look, I never love betting on LeBron, but like I said earlier with the straight prop, when it comes to LeBron James, I have to bet him in these playoff spots. I just have to. So we're getting this at minus 265 on DraftKings. Now here, the data is pretty good, the recent data. 8 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the over, including each of his last 5 games. You see, when the Lakers needed him most, he stepped up and had some really big games for the Lakers, including the last time they played the Pelicans just a couple days ago. He had a triple-double, 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 17 assists. Look at the head-to-head data. 4 of his last 7 games, he's cashed the over. You see, 3 of the 4 times they played this year, the one time he missed by 1. 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 14 assists. He just barely missed. So the data, it looks pretty good here for LeBron James. Even his last 20 games, 75% hit rate, 15 of his last 20. Like I said, when the Lakers need him, he does step up. You have to give him that, and especially at his age. Again, I'm a LeBron hater. I know I don't sound like it right now, but you have to give him credit. It's pretty incredible. All right, guys, so that's our 4-leg parlay here. Real quick, Steph Curry over 27.5 points, Draymond Green over 12.5 points plus assists, De'Aaron Fox over 24.5 points, and LeBron James over 39.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. So just to show you guys how it's done, now I will go ahead and click the share button. We'll copy this link. We'll go ahead. Well, actually, I'll show you all this. We'll open this in browser real quick. We'll see how fast my computer loads here. Just show you guys how you're going to do it when I post the link in the description below. So you're going to click the link here. It'll take you to this screen. You'll see that picture from me from 2014. I don't know why it's there. But you see, actually, FanDuel, it looks like all 4 of these legs are available on FanDuel. So if you guys are a FanDuel user, you're actually going to be able to bet all these. Let me go ahead and move my screen over. Apologize for that. So you see here, all four legs are there. The De'Aaron Fox, Curry, Draymond, and LeBron. So when you click that link, it'll take you right to this page here. You're going to be able to see all the picks, and you're just going to click Add to Bet Slip. You're going to continue in browser. You can scan it with a QR code if you'd like. So if you're on your computer, you can go ahead and scan it with a QR code, or you can go ahead and just click continue in browser. It's going to shoot you over to the DraftKings Sportsbook page. Again, if you're doing this from desktop, phone, whatever the case may be, it works all the same. We're going to load up here in just a second. And the ticket's going to pop up on the right side of the screen here. And it'll show up on the right side of the screen here. It shows you all the legs. Now, unfortunately, my computer's being a bit of an asshole today. Apologies for that. I did do this on my phone. I tested it on my phone while I paused the screen. So it is working on my phone. I don't know why on the desktop it's not. It shows that you can't bet it as a parlay. If you click the screen on your phone, it should take you right to the parlay screen, and it'll show you what the odds are. But when you put this parlay together, you get a parlay of plus 307 odds. Again, guys, I apologize. My computer didn't want to cooperate today. Kind of not the best. Not the best. Apologies for that. But it's a 4-leg parlay plus 307 odds. Guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment down below, all that good stuff. Guys, I will be back tomorrow. We have more play-in tournament games tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the Eastern Conference side of things, and we have play-in tournament games all week long leading up to the NBA playoffs starting this weekend or this upcoming week. So, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, I hope we're all winners.